guys, I'm Sebastian.
I'm Christine.
And this is This Week in Vegas,
the Ninth Island Connection podcast. Welcome back. If you are someone who is familiar with our channel, thank you again for your support. And if this is your first time, this is a podcast about what's happening this week in Vegas, news, weather, events, all that good stuff. And while you're here, go ahead and subscribe, because if you love Vegas, that's what we do.
Well, obviously they're interested in Vegas. That's how you guys found us. So like Christine said, go ahead and subscribe. Give us a like. It really goes a long way, and it takes no effort on your part.
Yes, we appreciate it. All right. And speaking of support, we do have some shout outs.
Yes. So I'm looking at the screen here, so bear with me. Don't want to miss anybody. Last week we asked you guys to let us know where you're watching from. That's just pure curiosity and helps us gauge our content so we know that where people are coming from, whether it's hot, whether it's the south, it's the north, etc. And we can talk about different things that you might be interested in.
And it was really cool just to hear back from everybody. And I was just really surprised.
I was
surprised where people are tuning in from. So
one
cool.
shocked me the most, and I save that one for last. So we shout out to Prince Peach watching from Australia, Vegas Lady watching in the Chicago suburbs, Tracy watching from Kansas, Champ from Providence, Rhode Island, Greg, love you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support up in Canada. We appreciate you guys. And Lori, you have got to be hardcore. You watched last week's podcast from the Flamingo here in Vegas. And that's just nuts. Thank you so much for the support, guys. We appreciate
you. Thank you, guys. And again, we love hearing from you guys. So if you have questions, comments, anything like that, drop them in the comments. Also, feel free to reach out to us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram. We're Ninth Island Connection everywhere. All right, let's get right into it with the news. Happy birthday, do you say, to the city of Las Vegas. Las Vegas is officially 120 years old. Looking great for 120.
I know, because, well, you guys know this. And I mean, it was just a desert with Springs Preserve, really. It was a pass-through and then started as a stopover when they found the natural spring and figured, oh, we can feed our animals, there's grass, there's trees, we can stop here for the night and then keep on going west or east or north up into Utah. And then as more and more people started coming through, that's how the city of Las Vegas really started.
Yeah, it was a train stop between, I believe...
when the train came.
Yeah, between California and Utah.
Time.
That's when we became an official city 120 years ago. And I mean, it was definitely not the Vegas that it is today. A really cool attraction, we've mentioned it before, is Springs Preserve. Sebastian just mentioned that. They actually have like a replicated town called Boomtown, which is really cool. It just kind of gives you an idea of like what things look like. They created like a train station, a bank, a motel, and then they actually have real houses that they somehow got from where they were and put them there.
Well, they picked them up because there are no basements here in Vegas, if you didn't know that. Nobody has a basement. Maybe a bomb shelter or something, but there aren't basements in the traditional sense. So they just picked up the houses from where they were, downtown Las Vegas. When I say downtown Las Vegas, I mean like Fremont Street and Las Vegas Boulevard. That's the pinpoint of Las Vegas on the map. So they picked up these houses and moved them over there. And you can go in and explore them. It's such a cool thing to be able to do. And they're maybe 5 minutes from downtown Las Vegas.
Yeah, and they actually have a museum there too that gives you more information on the history of Las Vegas. It's just crazy, just the thing. I mean, 120, you know, in human years sounds old, but just for a city, it seems crazy. But you look at those like old retro pictures, and I mean, Fremont Street was the first street and first paved street, first stoplight, and now look at Fremont Street. My goodness, you know, it's just crazy. Well, apparently Penske Trucks is doing some, polls, and we're ranked, Las Vegas is ranked the number 7 city for people to move to, and that's based on their one-way rentals.
Yes.
So interesting. So a lot of people still moving into Vegas. I know, after kind of during COVID and after COVID, we were booming, yeah. Like people were coming, especially from Hawaii and California.
With all the remote work opportunities, and Vegas opened. At least for us, we were still living in Hawaii at the time when Vegas was open in June. We were still shut down.
Oh yeah,
through past Thanksgiving into December, we were still shut down. And June, Vegas was wide open. We were in the first flight from Hawaii into Vegas that first weekend that they were open for filming and really just to get out of the house and come to Vegas because we loved it so much. We eventually moved here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So not surprising at all. And I wonder how many people like us ship their car to California, fly in from somewhere, and then drive their belongings from
or have your
California,
like
or have their stuff shipped.
we had all our stuff shipped. So
right.
I mean,
so we're not even counted in that statistic.
Exactly.
It could be higher.
Exactly. But anyway, moving on with the news. Sad news.
VGK season is over, but you know what? They gave it a good run.
Somewhat. Some of the games. Some games were better than others.
Yeah.
I know that Edmonton fans are celebrating.
And Edmonton, they played phenomenal. To shut them out in the last 2 games, Vegas didn't score not even 1 goal. That's awesome. And they did it at home in Vegas.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not too happy about it. You know, we were hoping to go on, but I know that, you know, our nephew Derek is happy. He's an Oilers fan, so, you know.
It was exciting to watch, and good for them.
Yeah. So, till next season.
See them next year.
Yeah. Other sad news. Well, I guess it's sad if you're a Mr. Chow fan. Mr. Chow at Caesar's Palace is closed now. It affects me none.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've never been.
Never been.
I never had plans to go. It's not my scene. But
I just hope, please don't put in another Gordon Ramsay or Bobby Flay or Guy Fieri spot where Mr. Chow is. I think we're full.
Maybe it'll be because, you know, Giada's across, so maybe Giada will get her another restaurant.
Please, no
there.
more. No more celebrity chefs. No more. Something original, something fresh that is not in every other Caesar's property.
Let's hope, but I mean, that's not how the pattern has been for Caesar's.
Has not.
So we'll see. We'll keep you posted though, guys.
Let's see what happens.
Moving from Caesar's to MGM.
Now, this isn't happening anytime soon, but we have had some comments about MGM properties kind of being stagnant, not being touched, no remodels, really not a lot happening.
And they've had
with
a
them.
lot of recent layoffs too.
And they've had layoffs. And people, I've seen videos out there, and I'm not mentioning anyone's name, but I have seen videos saying, no, they're not laying people off. They're moving them from this position to that position. MGM came out themselves and said, yes, we're laying people off to streamline our operations and put resources where it best suits the customers. That came from MGM. That's not us starting rumors or spreading rumors or anything. It is happening. We know that tourism is down. These properties, the fastest way to save money is to cut salary. In any business that you're in, the fastest way to become profitable or save money is to cut salaries, right? So they're doing that. Now, what I like is that they're reinvesting those dollars into the properties. They've announced that they're going to be renovating the rooms over at Aria and Cosmopolitan, but not anytime soon. And it may change like anything else in Vegas, but as of right now, they're going to be focusing on Aria in 2026 and then Cosmopolitan in 2027.
And, you know, depending on how things go with tariffs, they might postpone that.
Like the WIN did.
Yeah, like WIN did for their Encore.
Well, these guys, they're focusing on the rooms exclusively.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
That's true. Although, you know what? I mean, Cosmopolitan and Aria rooms are pretty nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
But then again, I think Flamingo rooms are fine too.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of hate on Flamingo rooms. So
yeah, it's
is
not for
the
everybody.
bar for us so low?
Well, I'm thinking like, I mean, if for you know, MGM, I'm like, let's, you know, look at Excalibur, could use a little bit of love.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the, well, I know MGM Grand got a little bit of love recently.
Yeah.
New York, they still have the older rooms. We haven't stayed in one of the older rooms recently, but those could have used some love.
I think some of them are fine though, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Like we did a video from MGM Grand when we stayed there a couple of years ago, and I thought the room was fantastic. We did a room tour, we did a video, we're all excited about it, and the hate came swiftly, like, oh my gosh, those rooms are so old, they need to renovate them. They haven't touched them. They've been like that for 30 years or however long. And I was like, wow, I thought they were very nice.
You know, and that's, I mean, just kind of a little tangent. Again, I'm catching your tangents, but I think hotel rooms in Vegas, like the standard that's set there, you know, has kind of just, for me, when we travel, I'm kind of always disappointed in rooms where we stay because I have Vegas expectations And when we stay in hotels, other places, I'm like, this room is so tiny.
It's boring.
It's so drab. There's no personality to it.
That's a great point.
Even I kind of feel like even one of like the more basic rooms in Vegas is still steps above rooms throughout, unless you're staying at like crazy nice resorts.
Right. But then again, we have the same expectation with airports throughout the country. Like, why don't all airports have slot machines and grab and go cocktails where I can grab a beer at the bar and go sit at a slot machine and do some gambling?
And loud music.
And loud music.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, get on board.
I guess we're just lucky. We're lucky
Spoiled.
here in Vegas. Yeah. So that was a nice welcome home. Welcome home. Here's some slot machines to dump your money in, which we rarely
have
ever.
done.
Well, not really on our way out, not on our way in.
Yes.
Yeah. We just try to get the heck out of the airport when we land. But anyways, it wouldn't be a Ninth Island Connection podcast if we didn't, mention something in the Link Promenade, since that's one of our favorite areas.
Nobody pays us. Be clear, just get it out of the way right now. Nobody pays us for anything on our social media. There's no influence on what we talk about. It's just all based on our opinion and what we like to do. And we have bumped into people in the Link Promenade. So they know that we're there, having a cocktail, walking around with Carlos, just enjoying life.
Yeah. It's a favorite area. And we do share a lot of things that we like personally. But we also share just what we're seeing on social media. That's where this information comes from.
Yep.
Social media, our local news, just experience of being there, things that we see. So we just take all of that and put it in this podcast to share with you guys. Anyway, back to the Link Promenade. Dreambox 360, we've talked about this before. They are part of that Ultimate Polar Passport that we've talked about.
Which is a great deal still.
Which that Ultimate Polar Passport is where you can get the admission and readmission to all 3 -5 ice bars. Yeah. The Dreambox 360 admission there, the high roller, and then it also has like some drinks, 20% off drinks after the fact of everything.
Awesome
really awesome deal. But Dreambox 360, which is in the Link Promenade, right between In-N-Out and -5 Ice Bar, they are having a new experience there, and I'm really excited for this one. I can't wait to check this one out. It's a new booze cruise experience. Yes. So of course it's going to have like that feel of being on a cruise and yacht rock.
But they're taking it back.
Yes.
With yacht rock experience. With yacht rock, which yacht rock it's a thing now in Vegas.
It's a huge thing.
And I just found out about it like 6 months ago.
Yeah, you're late to the game. You're
Very
late to the party.
To the game. But that's my genre, like in the 80s. That's when I was coming up.
Yeah, they have, even like they have constant yacht rock over at 1923 Live in the Grand Canal shops, which is a really fun speakeasy with different live music. They have the Docksiders there, and they're a lot of fun. I know we've mentioned them before. And they have, I think, like NOLA nights there. Actually, at both locations, they have NOLA nights. But they're having yacht rock music and also flights of cocktails, kind of a part of this package. Course. So I just
such a cool thing that they have there, and it's all new. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's just cool that they have those fun little like new attractions. Like they have their standards, but they always like throw in different fun stuff.
You do get a lot of people that come to Vegas. So there are two visitors to Vegas, I've learned. There's the visitors that say, I go to Vegas all the time, and it's like every 5 years, and that's all the time. And then there's people that come here all the time, like 3, 4, 5 times per year. That's why places like Dreambox continue to switch this stuff up.
Yeah.
Because you do get a lot of repeat business. So that's who it's for. Really just keeping it fresh, keeping it new and exciting for you when you come back to Vegas. And I love that they keep doing stuff like this.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to downtown area, Eldorado Days, the tickets are on sale. That's not going to actually be happening until November 7th and 8th. So Eldorado Days they have the Las Vegas Days Rodeo. So that happens in November every year. It's at the Core Arena, which is owned by the Plaza. So this is right next door to the Plaza. This is where the, what is it called? The National Finals Rodeo is held also. And that happens in December.
Part of it.
Yeah.
It's all throughout Vegas, but they do have events there.
Yeah. But it's just so interesting. I was so shocked that when I first learned that this event existed here, because I was like, a rodeo in downtown, like Fremont Street area?
But that's, to be fair, that's when we started really learning about the history of Vegas.
Yes.
And Vegas was cowboy country.
Yeah.
Really, it was a pass-through, and this is really an homage back to that.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. But it's a super fun event. It's family friendly, and it's just so interesting. Whether you like rodeo or you don't, it's kind of one of those things to check out because it's like, oh my gosh, there's horses down on Fremont Street.
It's family friendly. It's just so cool and something unique that you could do here in Vegas. Well, if you happen to be here on vacation during that time.
Yes, thanks for saying exactly what I just said.
To reiterate.
In other words, I'll use Christine's words.
To further reiterate what Christine just said, using different words.
That's my life. That is my life. That's what he does it to me all the time. Drives me nuts. Anyways, that's our thing. Moving over from the plaza to Circa. Circa's got a really awesome deal happening.
Oh yeah, $400. So what do you get for $400? All in. This is resort fees, everything included in this deal. 2 nights, $100 food credit, $100 beverage credit, and a free day bed at Stadium Swim. I don't know what a day bed at Stadium Swim costs, but $100 food credit, $100 beverage credit, that's half of your $400 that you're gonna get back. So think about if you split that with somebody, 2 couples or just 2 people coming in, that's really $100 per person.
Yeah.
To stay 2 nights at Circa, right in downtown, in the heart of the action. You guys know where Circa is. It's right there. You step out into Fremont Street.
Well, and I would imagine the day bed, we've never got a day bed at Circa, but I think it's like just $20 admission just to get in.
To get into Circa,
if you're not staying at the property.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably a pretty good deal. And you know what? If you've never been to Stadium Swim, oh my gosh, it's like a sports book and a pool complex all together. It's the rooftop of Circa. You have beautiful views of downtown. Don't go on a windy
pretty
day.
awesome.
You don't want to be there on a windy day.
Oh, so just so you know, this is during the week. This isn't going to be Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is during the week, but you have to check their website for availability.
Yes. All right, moving on to our last bit of news, which of course is always, we save the best for last. That's the jackpots.
Yes. We've had some decent ones too. So let's start with a slot machine over at Sunset Station. There's this chicken game that Christine is drawn to. I've tried it here and there, and I've never won anything, so I avoid it. I know what it looks like though. It's a little chicken, and as you feed it, the chicken lays eggs, and it goes up this pyramid thing, and there's different colored chickens and eggs and stuff.
It's like the other chickens. It's
they're
like
all
the
chickens.
Pigs. It's like they're all pigs.
It's like the firecrackers.
Yeah. Yes.
It's the same concept.
The games
right?
that like mess with your mind psychologically, where you're like,
they're all full to the top.
It's almost gonna hit. It's gotta hit.
That's chasing a jackpot. You guys
Yes.
are familiar with that. Well, somebody actually won. So people win playing Crazy Chickens, $32,500 over at Sunset Station. And then, still at Sunset Station, somebody won $32,000. Common number, right? Maybe 32,000 is on the horizon for us. Playing video poker. So congratulations to those guys. We'd love to see it, and I think it's time for a visit to Sunset Station.
Maybe. Well, Green Valley Ranch, which is also a station's property, somebody was playing video poker there, and they won $60,000. So maybe, they have like doubled it. So maybe
Green Valley, we need to look at GVR.
that's closer for us.
So from what I'm hearing, you just said you want us to go gamble at GVR and play video poker.
I never mind going there. It's a beautiful casino.
Yeah.
I love the district area. Last but not least, we're heading to the Strip, to the Strat.
Yes, and we recently talked about this Strat 2 podcasts ago or last week?
I think last week.
We talked about the Strat.
Yeah.
We ate there. We hadn't been there. We were there for work with Terry Fader, and we had some time to kill, so we checked out the property, which we hadn't been there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Before then, for an event, and the Strat is actually a really nice property.
But anyways, jackpot at the Strat. There's a few of them.
Yeah. So let's start with $52,000 playing 3-card poker. Somebody won $46,000 3-card poker at different tables. And then somebody won $17,000 playing Dragon Link, which we love so much.
Congratulations to those lucky winners. You guys noticed no Pai Gao jackpots this week, where I didn't see anywhere.
No, we didn't see
so
anything.
maybe they're tightening up the tables.
Well, I
they've
did
been giving so
see-
much away.
When it comes to Paigao, I did notice that Boyd's 3 properties downtown, Fremont, the Cal, and Main Street Station, they've linked their 3 progressives.
Oh, okay.
So those are going to be even larger jackpots because people gamble at all 3 of them.
Okay, that's nice.
And I've gambled at all 3 of them for playing Paigao also. They used to have individual progressives just for the properties. Now they've linked them.
They are all great for Paigao.
Yeah.
Cal's usually the busiest, so maybe that'll spread. Well, actually, Fremont's usually the busiest.
Fremont
for
is crazy
Paigao.
busy.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of like Main Street because during the day, typically the casino's not as busy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Moving on to weather. This is what you guys can expect if you're here this week in Vegas for the weather. We're looking at, again, it's May. So low 80s to even we're going to heat up into possibly reaching into the low hundreds.
Yes.
So it's still cooling off at night. Into the upper 60s and even to low 70s.
Yeah.
So that's actually going to feel really nice at night. That's going to be beautiful weather, especially if we get $100. Money's on my mind still from the jackpots.
Manifesting. You're putting it out into the universe.
If we get our temperatures up into the hundreds, then you definitely appreciate when it cools off, because come July, August, when we're in the hundreds, it cools down into the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't, if you call that cool. It's still hot. It's like always hot. You're just always hot.
It's just always hot.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get into some of the bigger events that are happening this week in Vegas. If you're coming to town, again, all of the regular shows, and I say regular, not to...
Like the local shows.
Yeah.
Because they're always here. They're a part of Vegas.
Yeah.
They're kind of like what makes Vegas. And
Yeah.
prior to all these residencies and sporting events, this was Vegas entertainment.
Because I would never consider Cirque just like a regular show, like, at Bellagio. It's just a regular show. No, it's a fantastic show.
Yeah.
But they're always here. These are some of the larger events that are coming to town this weekend. You've got Santana at House of Blues. That's over at Mandalay Bay. He's going to be there the 21st, 22nd, 24th, and 25th. Over at Dolby Live, which is in Park MGM, the only non-smoking property on the Strip. You're going to find Bruno Mars performing over there on the 21st, 24th, and 25th. Janet Jackson is going to be on the opposite end of the Strip over at Resorts World Las Vegas on the 21st, 24th, and 25th. Kenny Chesney just down the road that way from Resorts World over at the Sphere, and that's going to be the 22nd, 24th, and 25th. If you don't know what the Sphere is, that's that giant ball that you're going to see from the plane as you're coming into Vegas.
You can't miss it.
That's the Sphere.
You can't miss it, especially if you're anywhere like Center Strip. It's right there. Actually, the best places to view it if you don't have a Sphere view from your hotel room is the bridge between the WIN and Venetian. That bridge, it does get a little crowded there because everybody knows that, but you can get a really nice view of the Sphere. It's just such an interesting Vegas-y thing. I love the Sphere. And Kenny Chesney's actually the first country residency there.
First country, yeah.
So, very cool.
And then you've got Hardy over at T-Mobile Arena, because we don't have to worry about Vegas playing there any more home games because their season is over. Not happy about that. Anyway, Hardy's going to be over there on the 23rd.
All right. Hauser is going to be over at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace on May 25th. Jimmy Carr, getting into some comedy, will be over at the WIN on May 23rd. We Them Once Comedy Tour will be at Dolby Live at Park MGM on the 23rd. Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias will be at the Cosmopolitan on the 23rd and the 24th. And then Sal Volcano, he's from Impractical Jokers. I love that show.
Yes.
Sal will be at the Venetian on the 24th. And Sebastian Maniscalco, not you.
Not me.
Not you.
I'm going to be here, to be fair.
Yes.
But I'm just not performing.
Yes. You may be performing on a slot machine near you, right?
I will be. A happy dance. I'll be performing a happy dance.
Let's hope so. Sebastian Maniscalco, funny guy, will be at the WIN on the 24th and the 25th. And Whitney Cummings will be at the Venetian on the 25th. And then Marcelo Hernandez, he's from SNL. He's really funny on SNL. I've never seen any of the stand-up from him.
No.
But he's great. He's a great cast member of Saturday Night Live. He'll be at the Cosmopolitan on the 25th.
So we've got the Las Vegas Aces at home at Michelob Ultra Arena. and that's at Mandalay Bay. They're going to be there on the 23rd, and that's a fun time.
That is a fun time. And you know what? It's perfect timing that the Aces season is kicking off while the Knights season has ended, because you can just, Vegas fans, especially Vegas locals, can just switch gears and support another team rather than having to juggle the two.
Yes. And it's such a fun time in that arena.
Yes.
So exciting, so much energy. Like it's Vegas entertainment and a WNBA game.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, and you might get to see Tom Brady. He might. He's a little pinch of an owner.
But
right
lots
there.
of local celebrities come out to these events.
That's true. That's true.
I think people are surprised at how many people live here. We're watching the Vegas game, the game that when they lost to Edmonton. Their season is over, but Flavor Flav was just hanging out there in the audience, right there by the glass. And he's a Vegas local. A lot of people don't know that he lives here, and he's always around town. There's so many celebrities that live in Vegas that you'd never know about, and they do show up at these events.
Yeah, at different events. I mean, we saw Mark Davis there. I mean, he owns the Aces, so
But
it's good that he's there supporting his team.
But he's in the crowd. He's not up in a box somewhere. Like he's sitting there in the seats.
Yeah, you can see him. You can see the hair. You can spot the hair from your seats.
Just kind of hanging out and just being part of the energy of Vegas. One of the things that we love about this city.
And the tickets for the Aces are fairly affordable.
They're in the 20s.
Yeah, so if you're looking to check out a WNBA game, that's happening this weekend. And this just makes me laugh so much because you just have to say it. You go, I can't even say it.
So it doesn't make me laugh because I love Ancient Aliens and I watch them all the time. Every single Friday is Ancient Alien Day. Carlos and I sit on the couch and we watch Ancient Aliens. They're going to be live. The people that you see, talking about the Lions at Nazca.
Aliens, man.
It was aliens. They're going to be at Green Valley Ranch on the 24th. And I can imagine that it's going to be some type of panel discussion because they're not going to be bringing like artifacts. I'm sure they're going to be doing some sort of panel discussion and stuff, but they're going to be over at Green Valley Ranch. That's pretty cool.
It's not my favorite show, but it was a fun Halloween costume.
Yes.
That was a few years ago that we dressed up as Carlos and I were aliens and Sebastian was the aliens.
Aliens, man.
That if you're familiar with the show, it makes sense. If not, then it would just sound weird. But it wouldn't be the first time. All right. Anyways, that is it for this week in Vegas. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you've made it this far, please give this video a like. And if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Again, all we do is share stuff about Vegas. If you love Vegas, we are your channel.
And if you're looking for even more Vegas, go ahead and hit us up on social media. We're Ninth Island Connection everywhere. We're TikToking, we're Instagramming,
Facebooking,
we're threading, and we have a television show. Check out the description below so that you can see how you can watch our television show wherever you are.
All right, thanks guys.
Ninth Island Connection highlights Las Vegas businesses, entertainment, events, and activities on and off the Strip, keeping our viewers connected with the Ninth Island of Las Vegas. From local mom and pop restaurants to those owned and operated by top chefs, from kitchen action to the inspiration behind the dishes, we deliver the culinary creations of Vegas. From Las Vegas entertainers and athletes to all of the exciting activities and experiences around the Vegas Valley, we keep our viewers connected with all of the excitement that the entertainment capital of the world has to offer. Of course, we can't forget about the casinos that make Vegas, Vegas, with exclusive tours of the incredible amenities and beautiful accommodations, getting right in the heart of the casino floor action and entertainment, as well as interviews with casino owners, CEOs, GMs, and executive chefs. We bring the Las Vegas Casino into our viewers' homes. Highlighting lesser-known areas like the Fremont East District, the Arts District, and Brewery Row, we bring attention to these small businesses that have become fast favorites in the local community. We bring our viewers a complete Vegas experience.
We also invite our viewers along as we venture into the great outdoors of the Las Vegas Valley, sharing short road trips, hikes, and the unique sights found in the Mojave Desert. Great people, great stories, great connections, only on Ninth Island Connection.